Okay, so let's take one more list, and this time we have numbers from 10. Let's say we have 20, and again the names. Now we know that positive index, and this is more of a recap. You already know it, right? Right. This is the index value, and just let me know how many items we have in this list. 20 minus 9, 11. Right. So the index of this should be 10, correct? Are you with me? 20 minus 9, as in initial
Yes.
1 to 9 you can exclude. So 20 minus 9, 11. That keeps 11. Index is 0 to 10. And when I try to put the negative index, it comes in the reverse way. So one point of confusion could be that positive index starts from 0, but negative index starts from -1. And then it goes till the first item. And the value here, the final value that I'll put here will be same as the number of items in the list. Okay. So I know the number of items, which is 10. So I'll put a -10 here, which makes this as -9. -11, because 11 is the number of items. You're right. That's a good catch. And again, sorry for the confusion. 10 is the highest index value, but number of items is 11, right? So the negative index lowest value will be -11, which is same as the number of items. Sign removed. Right. So what kind of operations are practical around this concept? Let's talk about that. In terms of operations, often we want the last 3 items, right? Or let's say all items except last. So you have to tell me, how do I perform both these type of operations? How do I pick the last 3 items, and how do I pick all items except the last one? Given we already know this knowledge, we know about this concept of negative index. And in both these examples, you have to use negative index, right? Are you with me? In both these examples, you have to use negative index. Right? And let's try doing the positive index way first. So we realize it is slightly more trickier. Okay. If you try to answer both these questions by using positive index, we will get the answer, but it will again go to the process of finding the length, and then you got the point, correct? People, you got the point, no?
Yes,
So if I try to get the last 3 items using positive index, what do I need to know? Index of last 3 items, which is 8, 9, and 10. Do you agree? I need to know the index of last 8, 9, 10. And for this, I need to know the length of the list. And I will end up writing something like this, right? I will end up writing nums 8, right? And polar. Basically, I will end up writing the index position of the third item from right hand side. So first I have to find 8. That in 8 is my third last position, third last. This is second last, and this is last. So I have to do extra computation, just not the last one, but also 2 more computations to identify the index value of this. But if I were to use negative index, what will I need to write? If I were to do a negative index based indexing, what do I need to write? People, you're able to follow now, or am I just running? Let me know if it is not clear, because no point proceeding if it is confusing. Okay, can someone tell me what kind of negative indexing should I do to get the last 3 numbers, 18, 19, 20?
-1, -2, -3.
I write -1, -2, and -3. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
And can I do something like this in a list? Can I put multiple index values like this in a list? No, no. This will give me an error. Make sense? If you put multiple values like this, comma separated, it will give you an error. Okay, this kind of operation is still possible in an array. In a NumPy array, it is still possible, but here it is going to give you an error. So for you to get multiple values, that is 18, 19, 20, you have to do what? we have to do slicing. Make sense? For accessing multiple items from a list, right? We have to do slicing, correct? Right. So I want to access the last three numbers, 18, 19, 20. Sorry, I accidentally stopped unsharing and all the information is lost. Okay, I have to write everything. Nums. And we have this list 10, 11, 12, and let's say 18, 19, and 20. And I want to get this, and this last three items, right? So that is what I was trying to tell you. If you do something like this, -1, -2, -3, then first thing is this will give you error. Okay, because indexing with multiple index values is not possible in a list, and you can try that, right? So which is where we need to do slicing, right? So I need to write the index values in a range. So tell me, what do I do? What do I write? And the values here are -1, -2, and -3. What value should I write? Let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's go to Jupyter Notebook, because I think writing it like this will not help us check whether this is actually going to give us some output that is correct or not. Okay, so let's go to Jupyter Notebook. So I'll first define the list nums. And how can I quickly define it? Do I have to write everything? Do I have to write everything like this? Can I do something better? Is this the only way I can define it like this? Or I can do something smarter? Question is clear now. I need to create a list like this. My question is, can I only create it manual way? Can I do something smarter about this?
The loop,
Loop how?
like for I in range of 10 to 20, nums is equal to nums I.
Yes. Or you can just use the range function itself. For example, if you do a range, when you were running the for loop, you said for I in range, and what are the values in range function?
So 10 and 20.
10 to 20
Yes, sir.
or 21.
So 21.
So if you do something like this, which is without using the for loop, then also it creates the collection. But just that it is not visible to you, right? So by running just only this part, you have access to all the values 10 to 20. Just that it is not visible to you, right? So what can be done is you can put this inside a list function, something like this, and that automatically gives you the output. Make sense, na? Instead of running the loop, you can just feed that collection inside a list, and this automatically has all the numbers. Basically, when you write something like this, right? When you write something like this, correct? It automatically gives you access to all these numbers from 10 to 20. Just that it does not display. It does not display, right? Okay, this is important, and please understand. In case it is confusing, let me know. So we have this list defined, and I'll just put it here itself. So same answer. And now I want to fetch last three items. And what do I do for that? I can write nums, what I wrote earlier, which is index values. Index values, positive index values. What did I write? If you recall, what had I written earlier when I wrote positive index values? What were those? So 11 is my list length. 11
Yes,
is length. So my index value highest will be 10, right?
Yes, sir.
So my last item positive index value will be 10, right? And before that it will be 9, then it will be 8. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So I can put something like this. Basically, I can write something like this. This -3 colon. What did I write? Do you notice what is the issue? In the first line itself, it is not a list, it is a range. Clear, na? Are we clear, na?
Yes, sir.
Right? So now it is a proper list. I did not even have this as a proper list. So now it gives me 18, 19, 20. And this is what I was trying to do with the maths out there. Basically, I was first trying to show you, right? Number of items is 11. So my index of last item will be 10. Then it is going to be 9. Then it is going to be 8. Right? So that is where first I computed 11 by this statement. And then I did some mathematics and I said the index of this third last item is 8. So let me feed 8 and then do 8 colon. And by writing 8 colon, what it essentially indicates is pick up the value index 8 starting at 8 and take all the values that are there. So it will take 8, then 9 and 10. So indirectly, it will get me all the items with index values 8, 9 and 10. And that is what I get here. So far, so good. I know it has been confusing, but does it make sense now?
Colon means up to the last number, right? Like
Yes, sir.
how many?
Right. When you do not write something here, which means you start at that index and then you go till the extreme end, whatever that end is. Right. So we are saying we are starting at this place. This is my flag starting point, and I'll go till the end. And that is what blank means here. And do let me know in case it is confusing. Even I get to do mistakes. So I think my mistakes also cause confusion. So do let me know. Now, I wanted to show you below that without even writing the computed value 8, I can get the same values, right? So this is what I wanted to show you. Do you see the last expression? Here I'm not using any manually put value 8. Agree? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yes,
I'm not putting manual value of 8, and which is where it makes it more dynamic. Right? And I can show you if I change the list length, right? Let's say if I change it to maybe I'll put 15. Okay. Now it has 5 items. And if I just copy this and put it here, then still I'm able to get the last 3 items. So that's the benefit of having an expression like this. Okay, but this looks complicated, don't you think? By using positive index value, this still looks complicated. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Either we compute it
Yes, sir.
manually, right? Either we compute it manually, like the way we did here, and we feed the numbers, or we do use an expression like this. But I believe personally it is complicated, right? Which is where negative index value comes in. Okay, so we have to now use negative, using negative. And I'll also make a similar note on the top, using positive index value. Now for negative index, what will I do? For negative index, what will I do? Again, let's keep the same list. And my objective is again to fetch the last 3 items. What will I do?
Sir, we give -3 in place of 8 above, like when we given in the starting.
So you want to start with -3 and then?
And colon.
And that's it.
Close the bracket.
They should do, right? And it does. Right? And why is it working like this? As in, why is it giving us the right answer? Can someone explain that? And I will also explain in more detail. So the negative index values here are -3, -2, and -1, right? I already wrote it earlier. And when I do something like this, right? -3 colon, then what it indicates is that your starting point is this. This is the starting flag. Okay? And I'll indicate using a flag that makes it easy. And I'm saying go till the end. Go till the end of the list. Also apply a step off. So there is a by default step value also. Okay, and you have to really understand what step is. Usually when slicing is done, right, you have the flexibility to use 2 colons. And what do these indicate? Right, they help you separate 3 components. One is here, one is here, one is here. And what does this mean? This means start point. This means end point, and this means the step size. Right. So in our example out here, we have not used 2 colons. So which indicates that I want to start at this position. This is my starting point. I want to go till the end. So in a way, I've also declared the end point, right? By not declaring anything, I mean, I want to go till the end. That's it. And as this step, can someone tell me what is the step size I've declared here?
So is it like +1?
It is +1. So step
1.
will always be positive or negative, right? So when I say I start with -3, I want to go all the way. My step is +1. So what do I start generating? -3 is my starting index. Then I'll do a +1, which gives me -2. Then again +1, which gives me a -1. So that's the reason it is able to pick these three index values, -3, -2, -1, which is these three values. Is this clear? Right. So there is
Yes, sir.
some heavy logic behind the scenes when you write something like this. And if you're able to grasp that logic, you can do a lot, right? You can try out various scenarios and you will get the right answer. Right? For example, if instead of writing -3, if I write something like this, for example, -3 colon colon, and I write -1, then what will I get? Please think for a minute based on what I explained and then answer. So my starting point is going to be -3, right? My
Sir,
flag
is it like from 18 to 10?
yes. Yes. And we'll also check by running the code whether we get the answer. But logic wise, please understand first, everyone. Right? When I say -3 is my starting point, this is the starting point. This is my starting point. Then my flag is going to come here, the starting point. And then my end point is not defined, as in it is blank. So I can either go in this direction till the end, or I can either go in this direction till the end. Is this clear to everyone? Second input
Yes, sir.
not being defined means what? I can go till the end of the list, either in this direction, right, or left direction. So second input, which is end, if it is not defined, then it indicates the end of the list. But which direction should we go, left or right? That comes from the last input, right? So that comes from -1. And I start adding -1 to the first value. So in a way, I start generating values -3, -4, -5, and till the last point, which is -11. And that is where I stop. So by writing this, we should be able to get all the items except last two. Clear? And let's test this also. Okay, let's also test this. So if I write colon and -1, right? So it does give us the value that we just looked at, starting at 18 and going till 10. Okay. And the earlier question that I asked, if you remember, get all the items in the list except last three, last two. I have the answer for that also, no? By doing this in a way.
Yes, sir.
In a way, I've also got the answer for that. So this gives me all the values except last two. So I have to do some tweaking with this. If I want to get all the values except last three, then I should write what? Get all the values except last three. So I do not want to get 18. I want to get till 17. But also notice that all these
-4.
-4, sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it does. It does. But the values are inverted. Please do also notice. When I originally asked the question, I want all the values except last three. Then I want to still start at 10 and then 11 and 12. The order should be like that. But putting something like this changes the order, if you notice. Are you with me? It has changed the order, no?
Yes, sir.
So how can I get only these initial items except last two or last three? But the order remains intact, which is starting at 10 and then reaching at 17 or 18. How do I get there? Think. And the answer again lies in what I spoke earlier, which is you specifying a start, then an end.
Sir, we give the end value there. End value.
So it's logical. First of all, think of a logic. And the logic can be derived by using index values. So positive index is this. And this is 10, I guess. I remember 10 is the value. And for the negative, it is -1, -2, -3, and this is -11. So I want to get all the values like this. I want the output as.
So we are supposed to use negative indexing and we have to get the output 10, 11, 12, right? Like you're asking that, right?
This is the output. Exactly. This is the output I want. 10 to 18. And I do not want to use positive index. I want to use negative index. See, start, end, and step. You have the flexibility to use all the three inputs. And I have already given you the index value 0, 1, 2, 3 positive and negative index values -2, -1, -2, -3. Other than that, don't use 10, don't use 11, because by using 10 and 11, you are making it independent on the list length. See,
Yes, sir.
you can get here, as in you can get here by using something very simple, right? Which is, first realize where do you want to stop? You want to stop at 18, no? And 18
Yes, sir.
has index of -3, which is this. And I want to start at 10, and this has index of 0. Or I can do a blank also. So if I write something like this, writing the first input as blank, then it is going to start from starting of the list. Just that ending I can put as -3.
Sir, that was the point I said. Like we can read start index as blank and -3 at the end, so that we can get it from 10 to 18.
And step, what should I write? Step.
Step can be left as it is, or you can write one. Like
Okay.
no, sir. Step can be left vacant. We don't need step.
Let's try this. Okay. So you're saying we write only this colon -3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's try this. Everyone in agreement, or everyone, what do you think about whether this will give us the right answer or not? This last thing, brackets, colon -3. So colon and then -3. And it does. And then finally, we can answer the other question also. This is giving us all the items except last 3, because we have 18, 19, 20 as the last 3. If I want to get all the items except last 2, what should I write? -2, right? So 19 and 20 is excluded, right? 19 and 20 is excluded. Everything is there except last 2. So you use the same value that you want to exclude. If I want to exclude last 2, I use a -2. Exclude last 3, use a -3.